Well, the backstory that I think you need to focus on today, ladies and gentlemen, is the dilemma of the liberals, the so-called progressives, because they have two favored groups. One, the Muslims. Number two, the homosexuals. And suddenly they're finding that the Muslims, in 10 Muslim nations, there is a death penalty for practicing homosexuality. And as I believe, reading a column by Hirsi Ali, there are about 40 pro-Muslim countries where homosexuality is somehow against the law. So we're looking at a favored group by the left, the homosexuals, and that in Islam is punishable by death or imprisonment or some sanction. So what are the left going to do? How are they going to describe it? And they don't know quite what to do now. But the fact that this Islamic gentleman opens fire in a gay nightclub and kills almost 50 homosexuals, that says something. And it tells the fact that Islam is against homosexuality. So the liberals are going to be scrambling to find some rationale. I think they're going to have a hard time doing it. In the meantime, Donald Trump is riding high because he said we should screen these people, and he's absolutely right. We should screen them. And so the left is saying, oh, you're anti-Muslim, you're racist and all this. Suddenly, that part of it, the narrative, doesn't play too well. And they're stuck as to what to do. But Trump is enjoying a victory, and if more of these things happen, every time it does. The president failed to work in Libya. He said the Assad regime had to go. He didn't do it. He drew a red line. He didn't abide by that. He let Libya go into chaos. He was going to, quote, lead from behind. He has not taken a lead in dealing with ISIS, which he said, well, the threat of, they're the JV team, the threat of extreme Islam is gone. And because the world won't fit his narrative, he just is going to stay with the narrative. And I saw a column of a man named Bret Stephens who talked about King Canute, who ordered the waves to stop coming in. Actually, he had people whip the sea to punish it because it didn't obey him. Well, Obama is trying to whip the waves, and they won't obey him. They won't obey his narrative because radical Islam is in the religion of Islam. It is deeply embedded in the writing of Muhammad. It is in the Quran. It is the Hadith. You read carefully all that they have said. And in terms of homosexuality, it's interesting that there's a man named D.H. Lawrence. You've probably heard about Lawrence, Colonel Lawrence, a famous man among the Arabs. He has a description of a night that he spent in the, I guess, captivity or as a guest of some sheik. And apparently that man performed homosexual acts on Lawrence. We're not sure exactly because it's a little bit veiled in his writings, but it was somehow in there. So it's a murky picture, ladies and gentlemen, but just keep in mind. So why did Omar Mateen launch his deadly attack? Well, the answer may be found in the teachings that I've said of Islam itself.